Audio Jungle.
Welcome back to the Doc and Croc Show.
Welcome back.
Yes,
back, baby.
Woo.
Man, I tell you, it's been a long time.
Been a long time, Doc. It's good to see you, and it's good to be seen instead of viewed. You know,
it's better to be seen than viewed, man.
Yes,
I tell you,
yes, sir.
That little saying right there, man, that hit home for both of us.
Oh, it holds so much weight, man. When I heard that, man,
last time we seen each other, and like, I don't know, to all our fans who were mad at us for not being together for so long, we here. We like the kings of comedy. Gosh darn it, we here.
the Canes of comedy.
The Canes.
The Canes.
Kanes. The Canes.
There you go. It's good to be on the airways. Good to be back on the airways, or you know, riding in the car with you, or wherever you may be listening. It's good to be with you.
And
good to be back.
It's been what, 3.5, 4 years since we put together a Doc and Croc show, but
time, too long.
And like, I just feel like there's just so much I got to say, so much that needs to come out. But I think the first thing we really need to do, just for everybody that remember who we were, and for those that don't know who we are, I figure let's just give them a little walk down memory lane and just tell them what's been going on with us since the last time we pulled the episode together. So,
all right. Well, I'm Jerry Crocker, and me and Doc used to work together at a school. We no longer work together, but we still in the education system. I won't tell the school. I just don't, you know what I'm saying? Just for, I don't know, just protect the innocent or the guilty, whichever way you want to think about it.
You don't need to be mentioned.
Right. I was teaching 7th grade the last couple of years, but I will be moving to 5th grade this upcoming school year. I've been in education since 2008. I've been a classroom assistant. I've taught science and math. I'm currently teaching science and math. And I've also been coaching 5th, 6th grade, 7th, and 8th grade basketball for the last 3 years. And something I'm excited to do and excited to be a part of another way of trying to help young men, become better young men. So
absolutely.
That's my little spiel. I'm married. I think I got 8 grandkids. I want to say 8. I want to make sure I'm 8. And yeah, that's about it. Everything else you'll find out on the airwaves.
Man, I tell you, 8 grandkids, man, that is a blessing. So
a blessing.
I just got my first one.
Welcome to the club.
Man, I just want to spoil him right. Like,
they gonna have you wrapped around their finger, Doc.
Oh, he got me wrapped.
He wrapped around his finger, man.
It ain't even a question. He got me wrapped. So for those that don't know me, I'm Justin the Doc Carter. Like Croc said, we've been together teaching for a long time, teaching together since 2018. And while we no longer at the same school, it don't mean that we stopped teaching together. That's why we put this whole show together, so that we can continue to offer the same life lessons that we teach in the classroom. We can teach outside the classroom too. So no longer at that school that shall not be named, but I'm blessed to be at the school that I'm at. I love teaching. I love what I do. This past year, I had the chance to be part of the coaching staff for the basketball team. So that was a blessing in and of itself. Still working hard in the church. I'm at a brand new church than I was at before when we had
Okay.
the previous show, but still get the opportunity to share God's word. Uh,
Absolutely.
Man,
Absolutely.
they put me in charge of a ministry, so that so
Congrats.
I'm kind of like
Congrats.
in training right now. That's kind of a
Okay.
blessing. And so, I teach the kids during the day. And so the ministry I'm a part of is called Young at Heart, and it's for uh the senior members of our community. And so
Hmm.
I get to minister to the young and the old, and man,
Oh,
that's
you,
just
you,
a
you, you catching them all. 8 to 80, ain't you?
Man, that's just a blessing in and
8
of
to 80.
itself. Look, because
Yeah.
there's so much wisdom that they can
Absolutely.
provide that's pouring into me that I get to pour into these kids.
To the younger kids, yeah. You're just a vessel, man. Just a
Man.
vessel.
Now, one of those things that there's a couple of things that you talked about that I want to hit on real quick. So one of the things you talked about was coaching. And so,
Coach.
man, I tell you, so you coaching boys right now, right?
Yes.
And so I
Fifth and
had
sixth grade,
the
seventh and eighth grade boys.
I coach seventh and eighth grade girls. And I tell you, that one year that was enough for me. I'm good. So tell me about your coaching experience, how you still able
Uh,
to stay focused, stay fresh, and pour into them even after a long day at school, and you there 2, 3, 4, 5 more hours.
okay. So to keep it all the way 100, like at the beginning of the season, like it's fun, it's new, exciting. You're trying to see, what your guys can do, what everybody gonna bring to the table, and then when after the climax, the season has started and it started the daily grind. That's when you really see who's who. And
Mhm.
like I say, it's fun. I always like it, but it get to a point. I just tell my guys, if everybody to go on my team, how can you get better? Because
Right,
every little fella wants to be the GOAT. They want to be great, and they come to practice thinking they great. So when you don't come to practice with a growth mindset, you're not allowing yourself to get better. And that
right.
was my biggest problem. I had a team full of GOATs, but I did not have one GOAT.
Mm.
So that was the frustrating part for me. And I know my guys well because
Hold on, say that one more time. You had a
I
team
said
full of
I had a team full of GOATs, but I didn't have one GOAT.
mm,
So it's frustrating because, like I say, I was getting ready to say, I taught most of my guys. I have taught in the past, or I was currently teaching them while I was coaching them. So I'm very close with these guys, not just on the court, but off the court as well. And so, it's constantly me. And, I'm from a tough love era. I'm from a
right,
tough love era. You got to earn it. Nothing is given. Nothing is given. And that's part of the frustration with these young guys because everybody say they want to be great, but they don't want to put the work in to actually be great.
right. See,
I don't care what your mouth say. If you're not working towards something every day, then whatever coming out of your mouth is pretty much obsolete. If
right.
your words and actions aren't lining up, then you're just talking at the end of the day. And so that
And,
was my biggest frustration. Like I said, I don't regret anything. I
and
had a
we
losing record.
have an issue with understanding what work actually is, because some of these kids they'll be on the court, but they're not working on nothing. They're not doing
Nothing,
anything. They just
nothing.
jacking up
You just
shots.
out there. Exactly, exactly. So
You're
look,
not
we
working
already
on
got Steph
form.
Curry. We already got a Steph Curry. We don't need a Steph Curry.
Right.
All right. We
Right.
already got a Kobe. Kobe, God rest his soul, RIP to the Mamba. But be you. Everybody else is already taken. Be you. You know
Be
what
the
I'm
best
saying?
version of
So,
you.
and I think that's hard for young. The work ethic, Doc, on the court and in the classroom, I think that's what's lacking.
Mm.
Because I preached all year, man. Like I say, it wasn't a bad year as far as behavior wise, but far as just work wise and just persevering and showing that grit during classwork, man, it was non-existent this year for me. And it was very, very frustrating. It's like every year it's getting worse and worse and worse.
Oh, I
So
want to
I
come
don't
back
know,
to this topic. because I feel like
Okay.
we could be there for a minute. I
Okay.
want to
Okay.
jump
Okay.
back in the
But
coach.
I just want to tie that in
Yeah,
to the basketball because, like I said previously, you talk like you the GOAT, but you ain't put the work in to be the GOAT. You know what I'm
right.
saying? And it's just a lack of work ethic or just thinking something is gonna be handed to you versus you going out earning it and going and getting it.
And I feel a lot of what you were saying. Part of my issues with coaching this year, part of it was on me, but blame got to go where blame go on the players. And so we're at my school, we trying to build a program. Like we had a
Same.
real good program years ago, and a lot of those, ladies that have been playing, they moved on, and really nothing's
Mm,
been coming in. So we're trying to develop a program. But
okay.
why is it the only work you putting in is at practice? That,
Wow.
that that's not enough time.
It's
You
not.
know,
You don't get better. You don't get better during the season.
we
I
trying
tell
to
my
teach
boys
you
that
plays, and you got to work on skills.
the basics, dribbling, passing,
Basics,
like
dribble, pass, shoot.
yes.
And we never even had a chance to really get into shooting form, shooting technique, because we still focus on
Wow.
dribbling and passing, or just
You sound like my guys. Y'all sound like
knowing
my
where you're
guys.
supposed to be on the floor, knowing what a basic defense looks like. And so we're not putting in any of the extra work. Please go watch a game somewhere, NBA, college,
They
high
they
school,
won't do it. They
something.
won't do it.
Just be a student and understand how this game is supposed to work.
And Doc, that's what I told my boys, man. I said I can't make you love the game. Heart is what I can't give you.
Right.
Because if you had the heart and the passion for the game, you would want to go out and get better yourself, and you wouldn't depend on me to make you better. You see what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
So, and they young, and I know they don't get it, but you scream you want to be in the NBA, you scream you want to be in the NFL, but you ain't got the work ethic to match your dreams. And so, that's what's the frustrating part of it all. And like you said, how can you be the GOAT when you don't even know the three types of basketball passes, or you don't? We run in the same play for 4 or 5 months. You still go out there and do the opposite of what you're supposed to do.
And you still don't know the one play. We had three offensive plays. Now, I was the assistant coach. I wasn't even there when the coach gave them the offensive plays. And
Oh
yet I
Lord,
could walk into practice, I could look at the play and know where you're supposed to
to
be.
be
You've been practicing it. And see, that's why I was saying part of the problem was on me, because me and the head coach, we had to deal from day one, because my son is starting his high school season. Um, if he got a game, that's where I'm going to be.
That's what I'm gonna be. Absolutely.
Now, if you got a problem with that, then you need to find somebody else. But
Yes, because I exactly.
that's my priority right now. So I wasn't there a lot of the times. I made it to every game that we had. I could see, what he'd been working on with them. But I could also see
Yeah.
y'all not putting in any of the work on your own. When I got to walk out on the court and show you where to stand on the free throw line,
Put you where you're supposed to be.
and it's January. That means we done been through 2 months of practice, October, November. We done had games in December. The season ends January 30th, and it's January. And
We still he still don't know how to line up for a free throw.
you don't
Uh,
know, you don't know where to stand on the inbounds
yeah.
play.
Yeah.
Like, is the basics. And like you
And
you try to make that transition to the classroom.
it
The basics.
the basics.
The basics.
Basic multiplication, basic math, basic reading, basic sentence structure, things like that. But like I said, I digress. We won't go into the classroom yet. Just to stay on basketball, my school is about 12 years old, so it's fairly new in existence. So to say we're trying to build a program is an understatement.
Right.
Because we the newest school. Well, not now. We just got a new one added to our league. So I say all that to say guys been playing together forever. They've been playing AAU together. We play a lot of Christian schools around the county, and
Mhm.
they got the funds.
Right.
So they playing AAU year round, then they come back and playing for the school year round, and the chemistry is off the chart. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? The chemistry is unbelievable with these young guys, and it's something to be said about that. But
Right.
trying to build a program, and then your school ain't really like a sports school. Y'all
Mhm.
offer sports, but you know,
Look, since we still on the basketball tip, let me just say this. I feel like AAU for a lot of players has really ruined basketball.
it has, it
Because
has.
like you just said, these super teams that are together during the school year,
Yep.
then a parent, assistant coach, teacher at the school, whoever takes these same boys, put them all on this AAU
AAU team.
so
Yep.
that they continue to play together. What
Yep.
they are unable to do when they move on, if they get the chance to go on to college, they can't play with other people. They so
And
used to playing with
wow.
this one
Yeah.
person, this
Yeah.
one group, or they can't understand it that this coach doesn't know how to work with them or play with them. This coach has his own system, and you can't fit in that system because you used to this one system that
Yeah.
you've always been in.
Especially when you're the man in the system, Doc, it make it even harder.
Right,
When you the man, when you the go-to man, and then you go to a team where you're not the man, you
right.
may not even be the second best player on the team. It really does something to our psyche, man. I had a young guy first year on the team. I'm used to getting the ball. Huh? That might have been your old team. But for one, you're not the point guard. You can't handle the ball. And for
Right.
two, you ain't even probably maybe the third or fourth best player on the team. And you come to me griping the first, second game talking about you used to getting the ball. It's
It,
just different, man. It's just different. It's different. It's
look,
different.
that may for those that are of a certain mindset, that'll make you wilt and
Right.
retract
Right.
and quit and stop. Or to those of a certain mindset, that's a clue. That's a
I
clue.
gotta get better. I
I
gotta get
gotta put
better.
some work in. I,
Yeah,
I got
yeah, yeah.
look. I went through this situation with my son this summer. So he's playing on a basketball uh circuit, a shoe circuit this summer. And
Okay.
so
Good
I ain't
deal.
gonna name the shoe because they ain't
Good
paying me
deal.
to name them. So
Okay, not yet,
uh
not yet, not yet. Too soon, too soon.
but he working on a shoe circuit, not AAU, but upper level. And so, the team that he on, everybody can ball. It ain't just like an AAU team where we got
Mm.
two or three people that can ball and we just throw everybody else together because we need a team. Like number one to number 10, everybody can ball. So
Ooh,
the
ooh.
minutes gonna look different.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
And so either you're gonna put in even more work because my son, he works his butt off. No, no
Yeah.
lie. He works his butt off. But that's a clue. Like either we're gonna put even more work in
Yeah.
and bring the team along to a different level, or we're gonna try and stay at the level that we at. And each time that you progress, that's more work that needs to
But
be put in.
you
Like
know what I found too, Doc? I think a lot of young people don't know that you can do something really, really, really well and make it to the league.
yeah,
You
yeah,
could do something really extraordinary well, and it'll take you all the way to exactly where you want to be. But
exactly.
you got to do it at a clip that nobody else is doing it. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And that's what I mean by finding your lane. You have some really good shooters. You got people to play defense. You got people that rebound. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
If you find your niche and you hone in and lock in on it, it'll take you exactly where you want to be.
Yep. And
The work ethic is the key.
that's why I keep
When it's
telling
all said and
people.
done, I don't care how much skill you got. I don't care what position you in. If you don't have a work ethic, man, like
Right.
I look at some of these podcasts and the basketball players talking about their son, Carmelo's son, LeBron's son. It was somebody else, another celebrity I seen that is the name escapes me, but they talk about how they with them being in the league, how they wait for their sons to come tell them, all right, Dad, I'm ready for you to tell me what you did to get to that level.
Right.
Instead of forcing them and trying
They
to
ain't
force it down
forcing
their
it,
throat,
they ain't pushing it.
they say, nah, let him work with somebody else. And then when he come, I'm ready.
You mean
know
they
what I'm
ain't
saying?
LeVar balling it out there?
Woo, well, we heard from him in a minute, have we?
Come on, Zoe, push. Let's get out there so I can get this shoe deal.
Man, I had forgot about him, man. Shout out to LeVar. He did what he was supposed to do for his sons. He was a little prickish with it at times, but I get it. You know what I'm saying? I get it.
Look, I understand. You as a father with a son, I understand. But sometimes we can go overboard with it. And so I appreciate what you brought up and what you said about, these NBA players. They ain't pushing their sons to do this. Like they did it so their sons don't have
to go through it
exactly.
I got the blueprint, son. When you're ready, you come ask for it, and I'm gonna lay it out for you.
Right.
Show you how to get.
At that point, I know you committed and ready, but
there you go.
You don't have to do this.
That's the point. And that's the point they're making.
Like
when you're ready, and I know that you're ready, because you'll let me know you're ready by when you come and tell me, hey, okay, I listened to some other guys and I did it this way. Now I'm ready to try it your way. And not necessarily your way, but just what did you do? What did you have to do in order to get to that level?
And I would love if we could do the same thing when it's talking about our kids in academics. Mom, Dad, you passed high school. What did you have to do in order to get there? But it's like there's like it's a dead zone that's happening now. Like
because they think you can try to control them, Doc. Why do kids think when you giving them advice or when you telling them how to move through life, they automatically feel like you're trying to control them? Especially when they get to a certain age, then you hear, well, I'm grown, you can't tell me what to do. You know what? That's fine and dandy. But when you bump your head or you get your heart broke or you lose some money, then I got to come console you, right?
I'm the first person you run
First person, get that phone call. Guess what? Guess what happened? And then, you hate to say I told you so as a parent, but you're like, you know what? You could have avoided a lot of that if you just listen. You know what I'm saying?
Look, very real situation happened to me this school year. I promise you not. I had a parent call me. Now, the same parent who will never check their kid's learning management system to see what their kid is doing in my class, to see how many missed assignments this kid has, to see why the kid is failing. When I call to say, hey, I got an issue here, I need some support, some help, never answer the phone. But I kid you not, same parent called me up in the middle of the school day, mind you, kids coming in, middle of the school day. Parent called me up and said, hey, can you track down what my kid did with this $100? Because I believe my kid stole $100 out of my purse. And I need for you to find out what happened to my $100.
Please tell me how you responded.
I'm me. I took care of it. I still took care of it. I was like, you know what? I got you covered. So I went, I found her kid. Where's the $100? Tracked down what the kid did with the $100. Here, let me tell you. Let me tell you, people. I got to tell you what. So mama needed the $100 to pay her electric bill. Mama was concerned about the $100.
Absolutely.
Homeboy took the $100 for no reason. Just took it. Gave it to a friend at the school. Ain't even a good friend. Just gave him to $100 and told them to go pick up some snacks with it. I kid you not. This is a true story. So go pick up some snacks with it. And so then the person went to the corner store, gas station, bought some snacks, not even $100 worth, just like a couple of dollars worth of snacks, and gave
Mm.
the clerk the $100 bill. Now, any clerk gonna be like, why is this child with $100? It don't matter, black, white, Hispanic, whatever. Any clerk gonna question, why is this child coming in by themselves
Yes.
with $100 bill buying $3 worth of snacks? So the clerk took the $100 bill and threw it away because they thought it was fake. Threw it in the trash. And so I had to call mama back and be like, this is what happened to your money. What do you need me to do? How can I help you from there?
So it's gone.
It's gone. So she was like, can you do me one more favor? Can you just find out what gas station this was at? Like, show. I got the kids back together again. Where'd you go? What gas station? Gave mama back this information so she can go see what she can do to recover her money. But
Wow. Wow.
it's those types of situations. You don't respect the teacher when they trying to tell you your kid is doing this, that, and the other in the classroom. But when the shoe on the other foot, and
Man,
you need,
what I think as society, the emphasis on education has been drastically reduced. Like kids don't want to learn, parents just need a babysitter, and that's what it is. If they come, because I tell parents at the beginning, if I call you, that means I need you. So
right?
I don't really call, for no, you know what I'm saying. If I call you, that means I need you. Man,
Yeah.
I texted the parents about month and a half ago. I called her daughter and another girl cheating red-handed. They had to switch computer program we used for math. Caught them red-handed. They have cheat so good they had to switch computers. So I called, she didn't answer, so she ended up texting me back because I guess she didn't know the number. So I texted, yeah, this is Mr. Crocker from such and such. Just caught your daughter cheating. No response. No response. Didn't even respond. And then we had this. Fast forward, we had this thing we do with the kids show off their work, right? So parents, they actually talking about their work to their parents.
Right. Had the
So
same thing.
this particular same parent came in, surprised they even showed up. Talking to her daughter, then toward the end of the conversation, she say, "Well, I guess I need to do better too, huh?" You think? You think? If you said that let me know that you need to step your game up as a
You
parent.
need to step it up. You need to do more.
Yeah, because they'll call you concerning some drama. Oh, look, such and such somebody said something about. Well, when I call you, tell your child missing homework, or ain't done homework, or behind, I don't hear no response.
Nothing.
I
See,
don't know, man. So
you got good classroom management. I got good classroom management. If I'm calling you, then this
I
is
need you.
this is next level stuff. I
Yeah,
I can't
yeah,
handle this. This is something that needs to be taken care of at
yeah.
home.
It
Now,
get frustrating at times, man. It get frustrating, but like I say, man, I think with so many people becoming successful on the internet, I think kids look at that and feel like they don't have to have an education. But when you can't read and you can't do basic math, then it's still an issue. Like
right.
that's still an issue.
Because even as an influencer, you got some of these basic skills to pull off the business. You
But you're still working though. Even as an influencer, you're still working the have content every day.
right.
Like some of these guys do 5 or 6 videos a day. Desi Banks and some of those guys, they're doing 6 or 7 videos a day. They putting out on. You think they're not working?
And look, even pulling together one video a day, there are hours of editing that
Man,
happens behind the
that's
scenes.
that's
Hours
all I've
of
been preaching this year.
promotion, hours of work. And if you don't got the
Yeah,
basic skills, man, people are just gonna rob you blind anyway. So you can influence all you want, and
yeah,
you still gonna be no better than the person living check to check,
yeah,
surviving
exactly,
doing whatever they
exactly,
do.
exactly.
But you know
Exactly.
what, Doc? I mean, Croc. Look at me talking to myself.
Talk to yourself.
But Croc.
I'm here, man. You gotta talk to yourself. I'm here.
I've been talking to myself for so long. It's so good at
Long as you don't answer, you all right, bro.
it.
Just don't answer.
Well, hey, look, real talk. Sometimes me and myself have some real deep, good conversations.
Yeah, you have to. You have to.
Look, some of my best lessons have been me kind of processing it to myself. How do I want to teach this thing? But we'll get
We
into
show
that
for show.
another day.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
I was letting you know, man, we quickly running out of time here, and I still wanted to kind of talk about one more thing, because it's been good just like just the vibe and just talking about different things, man. We could go on and on about education, and that's kind of like the basis of this whole podcast anyway. Educating ourselves, educating each other, educating all of our listeners. But thinking about all the things that have happened to us personally, I didn't want to end this first episode without talking about my hat. And see, this represents Auburn University. Those that know
Okay,
me, I'm not an Auburn fan.
okay, okay.
It is not my team. But one of the things that happened to me, to both of us, and I want you to kind of talk about your story too, the minutes we have left. One of the biggest fans of this podcast when we had it years ago was my dad. And
Yeah, yeah.
and he was a big Auburn fan. That's his team. This is his hat.
Okay,
And,
okay, okay.
since the show ended years ago, my dad passed away, and I just wanted to just acknowledge him because I know he would have the biggest smile on his face knowing that the Doc and Croc Show is back. I was looking at his Facebook a couple of weeks ago, just scrolling through and seeing all the times that he was out there promoting
Promote,
the show
promote.
that
Yeah,
I
yeah,
never knew. I
yeah,
never knew, but he was out there
yeah,
talking about it. So
yeah.
I just wanted to just give one up to Pops and just tell him
Okay,
thank you.
okay. I'm gonna get one out of my pops too. Regretfully, my dad, we had an okay relationship. It was just a little different. I respect him, like the Bible said. I respect him because he was my dad. But I felt like he could have done some things better. I, I I don't think I have any resentment. I think as I got older, I seen him for who he was, and I accepted that, and I just tried to do some things different. Uh, I always remember one piece of advice though he gave me when I got married. He just told me don't mess up like him,
Mm,
and
that's
that'll always forever be ingrained in my psyche because I didn't know what he was talking about. And me and my wife talked about it. She was like, he messed up with your mama, the best thing he ever had.
mm,
And so when we had it, like I say, when we had it, I was like, oh, I didn't know what he was talking about because he just got the mic at the reception and was like, don't mess up like I did, and that was it. But those words hold so much weight with me. You know what I'm saying?
so
Because
much power behind those words.
I always wanted to be better, and so like I say, that's something that stuck with me. Like I say, we didn't have a bad relationship, but I think he waited too late to try to be a dad when I was already my own man. But
Yeah,
R.I.P. God bless the dead, and that's why I leave it with that.
yeah. But I'll say one more thing, on this topic, because dads, you know, good or bad, they have an influence on us. But I remember a letter I wrote to my dad on his 70th birthday, and I read it at his funeral. And one thing I talked about is that I'm gonna put my son on my shoulders, just like you put me on yours. Like,
Absolutely, absolutely,
oh,
absolutely.
what your dad said, don't mess up like I
Yeah,
did. I want you to do it better. I want you to go higher
absolutely,
than
absolutely,
I was able to go. And so
absolutely,
I know you as a father, you do that with your own kids. I want you to go
absolutely.
higher
Higher, go
where I was,
further.
and
Yeah,
and and that's where I am myself. I want
yeah,
my kids to go
yeah.
higher, do better, man, because I made so many mistakes. as a father, as a man, as a husband, as a Christian. I'm paying for those mistakes now. But
But I think, Doc, I think we have to give ourselves grace, man. Especially for your dad probably was a better example of how to be a man and a husband than my dad was. But even as men, we have to allow ourselves grace
yep,
because there's no blueprint. There's no blue. The only blueprint we have is the Bible.
yep,
That's the closest thing we have. How to be a great parent, a great person, and I think we have to allow ourselves to fall short sometimes, and we have to be honest with our kids. Let them know, hey, I'm figuring it out too. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
And I'm quick to, like I say, I don't have all the answers, and even this podcast, we're not claiming to have all the answers, y'all. But what we've been through and what we lived, and we came out on the other side of it. That's what it's about. That's the giving back part.
yep.
You
And
know what I'm saying? To me, that's the giving back part.
at the same
So,
time, children, we got to give our parents grace too. Parents
because we don't know all the answers. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
ain't got all the
So
answers.
who
Our
does? Who
parents
does?
didn't have
Nobody
all the
does.
answers. All right,
Nobody
we
does.
in the final minute, Croc. Any last words for the people?
Hey y'all, just tune back in. More great topics, more great conversation. Just keep checking out the Doc and Croc Show 2.0 coming back bigger and better, baby.
Look, I love that. Bigger and better. People, we love you. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being a part of this. And peace. We out.
Peace.